Welcome to the Photo Dog. My name is Lynn Cobb and I'm a portrait photographer in Charleston, South Carolina. I wanted to talk to you today about a personal photo project I did, and it is called Good Dogs of Service, and it actually was published into a book. This is Good Dogs of Service right here. I'll show you a little bit about the inside in a minute. So the title is Good Dogs of Service, True Stories of Honor, Courage, and Devotion. It's a book that portraits of 20 working canines and service dogs and their handlers. Like I said, I am a portrait photographer, so I love telling stories through my photography. And these dogs range from military and police dogs to search and rescue and to guide dogs. So all of these dogs are trained and hold certifications that prove that they have certain skills to do their job. So they're not your normal household dogs. They're not what some people say are emotional support dogs. They are professionally trained. So essentially, I say they are working dogs with professional jobs. That's just an easy way to say it. And so they have amazing superpowers, and that can be their scent detection, which is their noses, searching out for narcotics or bombs, or looking for lost kids, or also their athleticism, and also their ability to learn skills. And they are very, very important to our society. Let me go on to show you the inside of this book real quickly, and then I'll show you how it all started. So I'm very excited to show it to you. This is the front cover, Good Dogs of Service. And then inside, like I said, there's 20 canines and handlers that I photographed. So 20 different photo shoots. This is the first one. I don't know if you can see that. It is Lando and Gary. And then each dog has their portrait, and then their name and their breed, and then the handler's name, and also what they do for a job, and also they have the handler's story about their connection with the dogs. So if you want to learn more about, let's say, Lando and what he does in the military, Gary tells you a little story about that. So, and for each dog, I did kind of a candid picture, and everyone has a quote that I picked out for them. It says, dogs do speak, but only to those who know how to listen. And also, each dog has a did you know fact. And the thing I love about these did you know facts is that they are maybe facts that only the organizations or professional handlers would know. They're not your run-of-the-mill facts. This one is very cool for military dogs, and every military working dog is a non-commissioned officer. It is a matter of tradition as well as military custom, and each NCO dog holds a rank higher than their handler. So that means that the dog has to get fed and watered before the soldier does. So I thought that was very cool. And then let me tell you a little bit about how this project got started and why these dogs are so important, because that's the whole point of this video, is to raise awareness for these dogs, and just kind of we see them out in the world all the time, and I don't think that people know about them, or enough about them. So that's what I'm here for. So let me go through these slides. So these are dogs that serve our friends and neighbors, and they serve in everyday life, such as you probably see police and canines out at running races. You might see them at the Super Bowls. They actually, a lot of the Coast Guard dogs actually sweep the Super Bowl stadiums before the fans come in. That means that they go and search for bombs before they let all the people in. So that's one thing I think not a lot of people know. I think it's super cool. They sweep concert venues, and then of course if you see someone on the street with a guide dog or maybe a service dog that's professionally trained for PTSD, these are the types of dogs that we're talking about. So let me tell you how all this got started. Here's a slide of me when I was 8 with my first dog, Duffy. And then on the right is me at age 52 when I was photographing Lando and Gary. I love that photo. That's how my life got started with photography and dogs. So let's get into the book. So the book was started when I saw this picture of Carly on stage. I actually saw it on Facebook, and she was on stage with a guide dog, and I thought, oh my gosh, what an inspiration. Like, what's she doing up on stage with a guide dog? And so somehow I found her number and called her, and she graciously allowed me to come photograph her. Turns out that she only lives a couple hours away from me. And so that was back in 2015 when I did my very first photo shoot for this book. I really enjoyed talking to Carly, and I'll tell you a little bit about her. So she has something called Usher syndrome. So she was actually born deaf, but then around age 15, she was diagnosed with something called retinitis pigmentosus, which is when your vision is, there are different forms of it, but basically her vision was going. And so the summer before her senior year, when most of her other friends were out at the beach or the pool or maybe going on vacations, Carly was doing the hard work. She was learning how to be cane proficient and learn Braille before getting her first guide dog, which is Brinkley. So Carly has a great attitude about, I don't know, her condition and life, and Brinkley, she and Brinkley are just amazing together. And so she actually has a bracelet that says enjoy the journey. So there are many hard times in her life, but she has risen to the challenge. And of course, we all know that not every day is good, but with a guide dog by your side, things are a lot better than without one. So these guide dogs, I have a couple in the book, and I wanted to highlight them because they're really, really important to people that need them. So here are a couple of other photo shoots that I did. I'll put this slide up. And Arnold and Brody are another guide dog and partner pair. And then, of course, you've already seen Gary and Lando. And then I've got some UGA puppy raisers in the book. And that was a lot of fun. At UGA, there's a program called the Puppy Raiser Program. And the entire intention is to raise the puppies from when they're really little until about a year old, and they learn basic skills and manners and bonding. And then the students, it's very cool because the students get to take them to class and to the cafeteria and out and about wherever they are. And so I met these amazing girls, and one of them right here, oh sorry, okay. One of them is Liz, and this was Kirby, who she was a puppy raiser for. And but what I love about them is the amazing bond that they have being puppy raisers. and just learning about them. I asked one of the girls, what is your biggest like takeaway or aha moment from being a puppy raiser? And she said, when you're really struggling with a certain task that the dogs need to know and they finally get it. And she said that was really, really cool. So and then here on this next slide, I have on the left my sister-in-law Julie, and she is a doctor of social work in the Atlanta school system, and she and sister do very, very important work there. And Julie will go into the classrooms and talk to the kids about, different things that they need to know about for their emotions and their mental health. And also when there is a crisis, Julie will hold kind of a special sessions where she and sister will be in a room, and whoever wants to come visit and maybe hug on sister or talk to her as a doctor of social work and talk about their challenges, they can come in and talk to Julian and sister. We didn't have that when I was a kid in school, so I think that that's really cool that they have those types of opportunities today. And then, of course, in the book, I also have Marvin and Missy and their bloodhounds. And so what Marvin and Missy might do is they, if they get a call in the sheriff's office for maybe a lost child or maybe an older adult that has Alzheimer's that might be missing, and they go out and look for them. So when you see a dog on the news that went out looking for a lost child, that's like a dog such as Josie or Rogue, and they are specially trained, of course, for their scent detection. And then what else do I have? Along those lines of the news is Eric and Riley. So Riley is actually from a foundation called the National Search Dog Foundation. But Eric is a first responder. He's actually the captain of the Santa Barbara Fire Department. But what they are called out around the country and around the world. So if there's a natural disaster such as maybe a hurricane or an earthquake and collapsed buildings, then Riley will go out and search for the survivors of those tragedies. And then I have Calamity and Hutch, and Calamity is an avalanche rescue dog. I'll talk about her in a minute. So I just wanted to tell you the purpose behind this book is because I believe that we have so many dogs in our society that are right under our noses, and we don't know enough about them. And the handlers and the dogs put in so much work, and they're very important to us. So as I mentioned before, you'll see them at running races, and you'll see them at different events. And of course, you see the police canines probably in your community all the time. And so one of their superpowers is their noses. So when we get annoyed at our dogs for sniffing on the ground all the time, just realize that is the superpower of these dogs. So when, let's say, Riley goes out to a natural disaster and is tasked to find maybe survivors, well, that is something that you and I could never do. We could never possess that skill. So Riley, because of his nose, he knows to go look for that human scent. And so that is really what's very cool about these. And this is Calamity's Did You Know fact, because she is an avalanche rescue dog. So this says an avalanche dog is like a super efficient snow warrior. It can search 1 hectare or 2.5 acres in approximately 30 minutes. It would take 20 humans using avalanche probes and about 4 hours to cover the same area. So you only have 30 minutes if you're in an avalanche. You will die after 30 minutes. So the fact that calamity can come and find you so quickly is amazing, and it's all because of her nose. So let me let me just wrap up and just tell you how this project finished. You know, it started in 2015 with Carly and my first photo shoot, and it ended with my last photo shoot with Bo and Canine Taz. And Taz works at the Charleston airport, and so he is a narcotics detection dog. So he'll sniff out the luggage and the surrounding areas, any of the areas that he's tasked with. And so that was my last photo shoot, and I'm really just so honored to meet Bo. He's such a great guy, and he just showed me that it takes a lot to be a dog handler, and they put a lot of work in. So when you see these dogs on the street, just go up and thank their handler for their service, because they put in a lot of work. When you try to train your dog, we all know how hard it is to train a dog, even to sit, stay, come, so forth. Just realize that these dogs have amazing professional skills, and it takes a lot of work to get to that point. So in closing, I'm going to close with a favorite quote of mine, and it says, "Saving a dog will not change the world, but surely for that one dog, the world will change forever." So I just love that quote, and I wanted to thank you for joining me today. If you would like to buy a book, Good Dogs of Service, right here, here's the cover. You can actually buy it from my website. You cannot buy it on Amazon. It is not there. So if you go to my website, it is Good Dogs of Service. You can buy a book there. And I will also, of course, put all of this information in the description below. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you is there is a 20% discount code, and that is GDS20. And so for every book that you buy, you will get 20% off of that. So Good Dogs of Service, the reason I love this book is it makes a great gift for any dog lover, whether it's your friend, a family member, yourself. You can buy one for yourself. And when you actually purchase the book, I will contact you, and if you would like me to sign it, I will sign that personally to you or your friend. I thank you again, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later.